Yeah, hey, drop.
Prime Coverage Sports Network. Real coverage, real conversation.
All right, welcome to Primetime College Hoops. My name is Jim Weglars, aka Wegs. You can follow me at Wegspool and on Instagram at Wegspool. What about you, Kenny?
Yes, and this is Casanova. You can follow me on Facebook. See me worldwide on the PCSN network. Man, I'm excited, man. Tourney time. We're getting there. We're getting closer, man. So I'm excited to see what we got going.
It is. It wouldn't let me stream on Facebook, so hopefully somebody's listening and fixes that because it would not go on when I tried it. But follow the network at PCS and Media on X. You can see on the ticker where else you can follow us on YouTube, Prime Coverage Sports Network. So yeah, no comment again. He's got some things he's dealing with, which is fine. He'll be back next week. We do want the Oracle back. He grounds us. He keeps us on our feet on the ground.
Yes.
We get a little excited. We're getting hyped. When I was listening to the intro music, I'm getting all pumped up. And Mr. Renegade, you got the Renegade podcast. You are just kicking it all over the network. I love it.
Right. Yeah, man. Got to keep busy, man, these days, man. Got to stay busy.
That's right. So let's go over the recaps from last week. We covered a lot of games. We'll cover them this week. It's a little shorter amount of games we'll cover this week, but we'll talk about some of the tournaments and small tournaments, and then the bubble watch, which is huge because there's so many teams going up and down. It's like every day it's a soap opera. Let's talk about last week. We had Michigan State took on Purdue. I think we both like Purdue in this game. I don't know. Sparty I thought was going to be a little not so great on the road, but no, 52.5% from the field. They win the game 76-74 at Purdue. They cover the number, played great, and Sparty's been playing really good the last few games. What did you see in this game with Purdue and Michigan State?
Yeah, man, listen, it shocked both of us because I definitely had Purdue. I thought it was going to be a tough game, of course. Coach Izzo, man. He done it again. I'm pulled a rabbit out of a hat because I for sure thought Purdue was going to win this game. I did. I was like, they're at home. They got momentum. Everything's in front of them right now. And Coach Izzo had them guys ready. Had them guys ready, man. And they played really well on the road, which, like I said, we've been talking about all year, like these young teams and these teams struggling on the road, all year. But this is actually one of the best wins, if you think about it, for a team on the road this year because of the fact that we watch teams struggle all year.
Right. It does seem like right now Purdue has hit like I don't know what to say. It's kind of like all these teams, they hit that one spot in the season when they can't, you know what I mean? They can't do much. It's a shame, but it's true. And I don't know. I mean, it's their turn, I guess. It's their turn.
Yeah.
They certainly they almost lost to Northwestern the other night. They lost over the weekend to Ohio State. So maybe they can right the ship in the tournament, the Big Ten tournament next week. They're still going to be a decent seed. It's just, it's kind of like Michigan State played great, but also Purdue they're losing their fire for some reason. Let's stick in the Big Ten, Kenny. Let's talk about Michigan against Illinois. And I think we both like Michigan in this game. Maybe just I thought it'd be a little closer. But Michigan, they big boyed Illinois, man. They just said, hey, we're the best team in this conference. You're not even number 2. And they beat that crap out of them. They won 84-70 in this one. I was a little surprised that the Wolverines would shoot 53% and hold Illinois to 41%. So they got the outright season title. What happened to my Illinois team? They just couldn't get it done, huh?
Yeah, dominate on the inside, man. I mean, Michigan, like you said, they just big boyed them, man. I mean, we knew that Michigan at their best is just dominant on the inside. Like, that's why they would be so much better if this was like a game where it wasn't a one-off. Like, if it was like a series type of thing, I would probably pick Michigan to win the whole thing because in a series, it's 7 games. or how many games you play, you start to wear a team down with your height and everything. Would it be a one-off situation? That's the only thing that worries me about Michigan is that if you get in a team to play like Duke did against them. But in this game, man, Michigan said we're getting back to big boy ball and we're gonna dominate. Sorry, Illinois, you're not on our level. Sorry.
That's right. Yeah, I agree. It's just well, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but there seem to be some teams that are kind of separating themselves from the pack now.
Yeah.
Against one of those teams. Yeah, they lost to Duke, but Duke is one of those teams too.
Mm-hmm.
And Duke kind of had a better strategy against Michigan, but they both played a good game. But it just seems like in each of the big conferences, there is a team. We're going to enter the conference tournaments next week. We'll see if that continues, if they just keep rolling through. But I'm not sure a team can beat this Michigan team in the Big Ten. It certainly wasn't Illinois. Purdue can't do it. Maybe Sparty can.
It's going to be something like that. Yeah, I agree.
Well, speaking of that team, those guys, Duke, they are the number one team in the country for a reason, and they're definitely number one in ACC. They played Virginia, who was the second best team, but I'm sorry, Kenny, this team is way, way distant second. They're like they beat this team by a mile, in the marathon, and they win this game easily, 77-51. They just kind of destroy UVA in this one. And they made 12 threes. So it's like one of those things. Duke is going to limit you defensively, but then they're going to keep making threes. This is like demoralizing if you're a Wahoo fan, as they call them, down in the Cavs. So what did you see in this game?
Yeah, Duke. If like I said, if Virginia's the second best team, they're a distant second best. Like it's not close. Duke is clearly the best team in the ACC. They're showing their stripes to be the best team in the nation right now, going into the right time. Like I feel like they're catching their stride at the right time, and with them making all those threes, lets me know. Hold up, maybe their guard play can be enough going into this tournament, where we can look at them as a legit, Final Four team. I think they're legit Final Four regardless, but you have to have guard play. I think that's a must. Have to have guard play. And so what Duke showed, like I said, they flexed their muscle on them. Then UV they're gonna be in the tournament. So they're gonna be in the tournament, but you're not close to Duke. Just hope that you're not on Duke's side.
Right. It makes me wonder how the hell North Carolina beat them that 1 week.
Yeah.
And again this week we'll talk about that. But this team they're on a mission. They're playing really good basketball. They're playing connected. So we'll see. The other team is, we're just kind of hitting it. Not that I did this on purpose. It's just happens to be this way. Arizona, they had they stubbed their toe 2 games in a row, and now they righted the ship. They went in, they beat Kansas, and they beat them handily. They won 84-61 in this one. Koa Pete did play, and actually, yeah, he did play in this game. I put him without, but he played in this game actually. They played so good together, even with Darren Peterson scoring 24 points for Kansas. It didn't matter. They beat them on the glass. I don't know if you saw this, Kenny. And Kansas is not a bad rebounding basketball team, but that size of Arizona, 48-26 on the boards. They dominated the boards. Yeah. Wow. And this game gave them a share of the Big 12 title. We'll talk in a minute another game they played, but Arizona they're not playing anymore. They got those 2 losses, and now they're not playing.
Yeah, Arizona. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This was one of those ones where I was looking at, and I thought Kansas, was gonna put up a pretty good fight, and they knocked the fight right out of them. I noticed that they knocked the fight out, and it's pretty quickly. It didn't seem like it took long for them to knock the fight out of Kansas, man. And with Pete being back, Koa Pete being back, they're going to be dangerous, man. Arizona's going to be truly, truly dangerous, man. And watching them play and all their guards, they got me really intrigued. They're a really intriguing team. And then to win the Big 12.
Oh, yeah. Rugged.
That's huge. That is so big because we've been talking about the Big 12 all year as the best conference. And so them winning that is huge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it makes me think that if they didn't drop that second game, every team is basically going to lose except for Miami of Ohio. Okay.
This is
But they'd probably be the number one team. I mean, just because they had those 2 slip ups in a row, and then it was like,
Mhm.
okay, they're no good. Well, actually, they're very good.
Yeah.
They've got that Krivats guy, 77-2. They got Pete in there. They've
Mhm.
got the guy off the bench that's due to Walker's huge and strong. The
Yes.
guards are tough. Yeah, this
Yeah.
team is tough. It's going to be a really good team in the tournament. And then the last team, these are my top 4 teams, even though UConn did get their big win last week. Gators, man, this was like a showdown game. Florida playing against Arkansas. Arkansas, we love Arkansas. Acuff's our guy.
Yeah.
He's like an unofficial member of the podcast. We talk about it all the time.
Yes.
They got rolled in this game. And Casanova, 111-77. This was a no contest. This was a Roberto Duran, no mas situation.
Yes.
They KO'd him. They shot 57% from the floor. They out-rebound Arkansas by 20. I mean, this team is on a mission now. I mean, they are just destroying the SEC.
Yeah. Remember we talked about them like early in the pod, like early couple episodes ago. We were like,
Yeah.
what's going on with Florida? And
Right.
Florida said, hold on, there's nothing going on with us. We're just catching our footing. And
Yes.
they went into this game and they just this was a dog walking. They just
Yes.
walked. It was like, yeah, we're the best team clearly in SEC. They've been
Mhm.
screaming this for weeks now. And
Yep.
we're gonna have to look at them and be like, you know what? They're not just the best team in SEC. These are the
Mhm.
defending national champions.
They're the
Gotta
champs. Yeah.
respect them as such. We have to. And I think in a tournament, they're gonna be a tough out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm starting to look at them like, don't let them be a 2 seed because I don't like it for the one. I don't care who the one is.
I know. It's
Yeah,
right now.
I
It's
know they probably
UConn. It's
will.
like, does UConn want to see Florida as the 2
Yeah,
seed? Are
that's
you
what I'm
kidding me?
saying. Because whoever gets the Gators in their
Mm.
bracket, oh man,
Yeah. No thanks. No
Yeah.
thanks.
yeah, no
Um,
thanks, right? No mas.
Exactly. No mas.
No
And then the last game we highlighted was Arizona was playing again. They played the Cyclones. I know we've retired the Cyclones. I'm sorry. The Cyclone dance may be retired right now, Casanova. But this was, hey, look, Arizona, they had a share of the title. You thought, hey, maybe they're going to go into this game and say, hey, we can lose this game and still be a Big 12 champs. They went and dominated the boards again. They had 6 blocks in this game. They made 23 free throws, and they won 73-57. And now, hey, Jay Howe, and now it's like they win the outright Big 12 title. They are the title champs, Big 12 in Arizona, and they're definitely a number 1 seed now going into the big tournament.
Yeah, man. Like you said, Arizona could have took their foot off the gas. They could have said, you know what, give us a
Mhm.
share. We'll take a share.
Mhm.
They said, no, we want all of it. We want it all.
Yeah. We're not sharing
And I got to retire the Cyclone dance for a while. I was big on the Cyclones after they had that rising. But then now we got to have to retire it because Arizona
Mhm.
said, no more Cyclones. We Wildcats out here. And the Wildcats came to play. They locked in on them and they didn't let go. They did not let go. I was like, Iowa State gonna hang with them. I think they're gonna hang.
Mhm.
And they didn't hang with them. They hung it up and went in the locker room. That's what I
Right.
seen from this team, man. I really like what I see from Arizona. I told you, Arizona to me, we're gonna have to watch out for them in the tournament. They got good
I
guards,
agree.
good bigs. They got the recipe. They have there's certain teams that got the recipe
They
for
do.
the tournament, and they're one of them. They are one of them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like we've talked about the big teams all today, just starting off. As good as Michigan is, I mean, Arizona's guards are better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Arizona's guards are better than Michigan.
Yeah.
And Duke somehow just wins. I think they have a good unit, like they
Yeah.
play well together, but talent-wise, I don't know if anybody's beaten this Arizona team talent-wise. They have great talent.
Yeah, I agree.
Just Florida can match them on the bigs. Like they have the bigs, but their guards aren't quite as big or quite as good. They might just try to run them, kind of run up and down and
Yeah,
try
that'll
to,
be
outrun them. The one Achilles heel for Arizona is they don't shoot a lot of threes, So if they do shoot threes in a tournament game, I mean, that's going to be them. I mean, it'll be lethal.
Yeah, I agree. The that Florida, I ain't gonna lie, them in Florida to me, they're gonna be a scary. Both of those teams are gonna be a scary out. They're gonna be a scary out, man. Um,
Mhm.
Teams better buckle up. They
Better
better
buckle up.
buckle up because this Arizona team is for real. They are
They
for
are,
real, and
for sure are.
with their guard play, man, being as good as it is, I mean, I could see them going to the Final Four. I could.
Hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk just briefly about the small tournaments. I put this on Wegspool, and I'm not just promoting. I write a whole article every week on the basketball, college basketball, and
Mhm.
I outlined every single small tournament. There was like 13 or 14 that went in. So a bunch of them started this week. The first ticket, it's always exciting. That first ticket is punched on Saturday. It's the Ohio Valley, really OVC. It's really fun to see. So we'll see who's going to be in there. They play on Saturday, so they're going to punch their tickets. That's exciting. And then Sunday, there's 3 tickets. You got Missouri Valley. They call it Arch Madness. You've
Mhm.
got the Atlantic Sun, the A Sun, and then the Big South. So we'll have 4 tickets punched by the end of the weekend. And some
Okay.
people already be dancing, which is really exciting.
Yeah. Hey, I like that. I like that for them smaller schools, man.
Me
I do. I
too.
always think anytime they get shine, man, I'm for that. I'm for that,
Mhm.
especially in this NIL era. They're not getting shine at all. So
Right.
anytime that we can shine a light on those smaller schools, man, hey, I'm all for it. So I'm glad teams are gonna be dancing in the tournament, man. I'm gonna be dancing with them.
That's right. Well, my whole thing is, and obviously I run a big, NCAA basketball pool every year. I
Mm,
try to look at those small teams who could be the Cinderellas. And we've kind of talked a little bit about Miami of Ohio. We know they're 30-0. That they've played. They've actually lately. I thought they should have lost the other day, but we know those teams. But there's other teams, that come out of these tournaments that, I mean, they're ballers. They've only lost 3 games in a season.
mhm,
And they're going to be able to shoot the lights out against one of these kind of SEC or Big Ten teams. They're kind of in the middle tier. So I try to get as many of these games in as I can, at least in the finals, to
mhm.
see who's going to get hot and who's going to be that upset pick. You're going to surprise the bracket. Because everybody at the end, okay, we're going to pick the big ones for later. But that opening weekend, the first couple of days is just so fun when you see these dudes you've never seen before. I still remember, God, it's like 12 years ago when Stephen F. Austin, who the coach of that team is now the coach of Brad Underwood. He's the coach of Illinois. But he had that team. He had that dude with a big red beard. He had these
Mhm.
guys, the lumberjacks, and they
Yeah.
were so fun to watch, man. And they got to the second game. They ended up losing in the second game at the buzzer or something. But those are the guys. What was the other team? Oh, man, Georgia State. Remember that Georgia State coach?
Yeah.
He jumped up and down and tore his Achilles.
Yep, and then fell out the
Um,
chair.
yes.
Yes, I remember that team. I was
So
on
that
that.
was on the
I
news.
was on that bandwagon. I was like, okay, let me keep
Yeah.
watching. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And there's a lot of teams like that are out there to watch.
Yeah, like
High,
Loyola. What
Loyola
was
that one year. Oh,
Loyola
man. I'll
that
tell you
one
a
year?
story. So Loyola's right up the street from me,
Yeah.
Kenny. And that was a year. For years, I used to do my spring trip, which I always go around March Madness, like the first opening weekend. We used to go down to Arizona for many years for spring training, and we'd check out the games and I'd go to the spring training games. It was really fun. We started changing it up, and one year we went to San Diego, which was really fun. Good trip. And Loyola was in the tournament, and that first game, I think they beat, was it Tennessee the first game or something? But we're watching it, really early because it's always like a first early game, and they
Mhm.
won. And then Saturday, it was a St. Patrick's Day party, and they won again. And it was Sister Jean, who just passed away, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah,
Sister Jean passed away, but
yeah, I did hear
this
about
was
that.
like 7, 8 years ago. Sister Jean, got the scarf on, and oh man, that's what this is all about, March Madness.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it, man. This is what makes tournament time special for me, man.
For
That's what
sure.
makes it special.
Well, let's talk about the guys that probably shouldn't be in, but they're on the fringe.
Oh gosh, here we go.
And I mean, a lot of these teams, like as we discuss them, realize that, and I'm just doing Lenardi's stuff because I don't have time to follow like 3 different bracketologists, but he did it on the 3rd, which is Tuesday, and like a
Mhm.
bunch of people lost on Tuesday. he'll do it again on Friday, and then it's conference tournament time, and maybe he'll do it whatever. But so let's do his first 4 buys, which means like these are the like 8, 7, 6, 5 teams that are in instead of the last 4 in. So he's got SMU in there. And this is a team that I guess was safely in for a while. It wasn't on our bubble watch for a few weeks, but now they are because they kind of got smoked. They just seem to be falling like a stone. And I mean, they're 19-11, 8-9 in the ACC. They have decent metrics, but a team that we could talk about come tournament time is Miami, who just went in and just beat the hell out of them. SMU, these Mustangs, I don't know. I don't think they can hang on, Kenny. I don't think they're going to hang on for the dance.
Yeah, me either. Like I said, having late losses, man, in the season, man, they're very devastating because now it's going to require you in the tournament, in the conference championship, to actually have to really go win a couple games. Yes. I think that's just putting too much pressure on certain teams, especially if you're not in a good rhythm going into conference championship. So I think teams are going to have to lock in, buckle down, do what you got to do because the conference championships is coming up, and no prisoners. No prisoners.
No prisoners. I agree with you. They're a team that's going to have to win some games. They probably have another game on Saturday, and they have to win at least. You know, it's weird. ACC is so big. There's like a double bye in there, so they're probably a team that's going to be in the middle, maybe get a bye, but they got to win that game. Otherwise, I don't think they're going to make it. One of the teams we have talked about before that's on the rise is TCU. The Horned Frogs, baby. Horned Frogs. They've won 4 straight now. They're 20-10. They're 10-7 in the Big 12. I think they're in. I mean, they just beat Texas Tech. We love Texas Tech too, even though they lost JT Toppin, but TCU smoked them. It was in Lubbock too. Yeah. So this is a team I'm liking. We've talked about them. I like them even in the tournament. So.
See, and they did exactly what I said that SMU needed. At the end of the year, you got to compete. And look what they did. Yes. How did they compete? They beat a top 10 team. You beat a top 10 team late in the season. To me, you're punching your ticket to go to the tournament. I mean, that's you just got to make sure that you don't have a letdown. As long as there's no letdown and you continue to keep on elevating. And like I said, you go into the tournament, get a win, get 2 wins, get how many wins you need. Right. And now you're right there in the dance. And it's all because you got hot at the right time. 4 straight wins, man. You can't call it no better than that. I mean, this is the perfect way to push towards the tournament.
That's right. Now UCLA, this is the team that just confounds me. They're going to be in the tournament, Kenny. We know they're going to be in. We know this. But at 20-10, 12-7 the Big Ten, they have good metrics. But this team, we talk about it every single week. I'm sorry I'm a broken record, but new listeners here listen all the time. They lose at Minnesota. They lost at Minnesota. And then they turn around and beat Nebraska, who's in the top 10 at home. Badly. Who is this team? Mick Cronin. What are you doing with this team? Why can't they win on the road?
Man, I'm like you said, I'm befuddled by this team. This is definitely this is what's the kid saying, 6'7"? This is I'm telling you, I don't know about this team. They're gonna get in, like you said. But I just, how do you go from that to that?
I don't know.
It's befuddling to me, and I think UCLA is going to be early out. I do.
I think so too. I do.
I think they're early out in the tournament, but they're going to get in. But the crazy part, they could be a type of team that makes it to the Sweet 16. See what I'm saying? Like, we just don't know.
Agree.
We literally just don't know about UCLA because all year they've been up and down. Look at their record.
Right.
The record shows they've been up and down.
Yeah. Like maybe they get lucky and they're playing in the West somewhere, so it's a quick trip. So they're fine on that, but they go back to the East Coast or go to like the Midwest where it's 2-hour time difference and they can't play basketball. Yeah. Same basketball, same height of the rim. Can't do it.
They're gonna have to figure that out. They're gonna have to figure that out because I have a feeling they're going to be probably in the Midwest or something like that
Yeah.
for tournament time.
That's right. And then A&M, Texas A&M, another team. Like this team actually, the other night I was watching the game. They're 20-10 now, 10-7 in the SEC. I think they're going to make it now. Even, I don't think even if they lose a game, I think they're just going to be in. But this team like was getting smoked a lot, and then they beat the hell out of Kentucky. Like they were actually, I don't know if you watched the game. I was actually at a bar watching it, and I think they were down like 30-20 early in the game. And then all of a sudden, like they turned it on and they won this game going away by like 20 points. It was, I'm not sure what, maybe just got hot. They were playing at home, but they're another team that's super inconsistent. I don't know if I trust this team. If I'm a gambling man, I like teams I can trust, whether they're good or bad. And this is one of those teams, just like UCLA. I don't know what I'm getting game over game.
Yeah, I love the win though against Kentucky. I love that win. That's a big win late in the season.
It is.
Being inconsistent, that's the only thing. Like I said, a lot of these teams are going to get in. A lot of these teams are going to get in. The problem is when you get into that tournament, what you got?
Right.
This is a one game thing. Like, what do you have? Your whole season's on the line. I don't know, man. I don't know about these teams, man. I don't, because I like a team like TCU, who's 4-game winning streak. They're trending up. Like, I can get behind that.
Me too.
These other teams, they're so inconsistent. Oh yeah, we beat this team, then we lose to a sorry team on the road. We win at home against this team, but then we lose to this other team on the road. It's just like y'all gotta pull it together now. Pull it together.
Right. Hey Andrew, thanks for joining. Hey. Okay, we're talking the bubble. We're going to go the last 4 in according to Lenardi on Tuesday the 3rd. It'll be a new one tomorrow, probably a little bit of changes. Santa Clara, the Broncos. Look, I'm rooting for the Broncos, man. Steve Nash. I did some research. Last time they made a tournament was with Steve Nash. He was on the 96 team. I didn't realize he was my year in school. So that's the last time they made it. It's been a minute. It's been 30 years, if we're counting. So I want them to make it, but they're actually in their tournament now. Their final it's later. It's like Tuesday next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I think they got to make it to the semis at minimum to make the tournament, to hang on to this spot. I mean, they're 23-7, 15-3 in conference, which is amazing.
That's great.
They lost obviously to the Zags twice, and they got by the St. Mary's. But Jay Howe's favorite player, Steve Nash, huh? A great player. Yeah, I want them to make it, but this is a team, and they get into their WCC tournament, they lose to somebody and drop. Ouch, they're out. You know what I mean? They've only got a couple more games to make their case.
Yeah, I agree. They're like right on the cusp because of the conference that they're in. So it's one of those where, like you said, I agree. They got to at least get to that semis. You got to at least get to the semis if you them to be safe, to feel safe.
Feel safe, right? To
feel safe. Because I like their record. And I understand the losses. Like the teams they lost to, them are some legit teams. You know, they're not sorry teams. These are legit teams. And so Santa Clara is a team to keep your eye out on. I think they're a team to keep your eye out on just because of them and Cinderella. You never know, man, where the Cinderella's going to come from. You just never know.
Yep, they're a team.
Yeah, right.
Your guy Jay likes Kobe, KD, and Flag, but he likes Nash #1, just so you know.
Yeah, I know. Me and him be debating all the time, man.
So Ohio State, we've been talking about it. They couldn't get a win against a good team forever, and then they're the ones that took out Purdue. And I think that's going to get them in the dance now. And that their metrics jumped up, 5-6 every one. They're 18-11 now, 11-8 in the Big Ten. I don't love the team, but what I will say, Kenny, for the last 2 games, I've seen it now. Their guards are starting to play better, and they're starting to close out games. Because remember, we talked about they lost a lot of close games all through February. Yeah. Now that it flipped to March, and all of a sudden, no, we're going to play basketball now. So I actually think they're going to be in, and they might be pretty competitive in the Big Ten tournament next week with those guards.
Yeah, I agree. They just put up 94 points.
Yep.
Like they're starting to hit a stride too, which is like I said, that's a team you can get behind. Now, how potent are they going to be? I need to see them in the Big Ten championship tournament, man. I have to see what that looks like because at the end of the day, I think they need a couple more wins. I do think they have to do something in the tournament. I do. I think they can't just sit back and rest on their laurels. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they're going to have to win a couple games in the Big Ten championship tournament. I love the win against Purdue though. That Purdue win, that was one of those where it was shocking.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I know you probably couldn't believe that.
Well, I don't know what's happening with Purdue. We talked about it.
Yeah.
They can't defend anymore. Everybody's shooting. I think they've given up over 50% from the field like 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
And so that obviously helped Ohio State. But Ohio State played a good, solid game throughout. They were really on top most of the game.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. And I was when I watched the game, I was looking, I'm like, what is going on with Purdue right now? This is the worst time to be downsliding.
Yeah.
This is the worst time to go into, conference championship games, going on a downslide when you're a top team and we're looking at you like, are you the second best team in the Big Ten?
Yeah, right. What's happening?
We don't know. Like, and that's what makes it so crazy because I think Michigan and Michigan State are clearly the 2 top dogs.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think they're the 2 top dogs in the Big Ten for sure.
Right, they are.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about another team that probably shouldn't be in, and they're kind of making me mad, but they did finally win a game this week. They beat Minnesota bad, but they had lost. What is it? 1, 2, 3. They had lost 4 games in a row. That's Indiana. They're 17-12. They're 9-10 in the Big Ten. This was before the win against Minnesota, so I guess that's helpful to them. But I don't believe in the Hoosiers, dude. I've seen them play. They got a guy, DeVries, who loves to shoot the ball from deep, and that's about it. They do play Ohio State this weekend at Ohio State. If they win that one, that will definitely set them up better in the Big Ten tournament because if they lose that game, they're going to have to win, like you said, probably 2 or 3 to get in, and then they're an uphill battle. He's got him in. Lamarney's got him in. I just don't – this is my thing. I don't want to see this team in. I'd rather see a couple of the teams we're going to talk about in a minute in because they had their shots. They had their shots at better teams. They're playing inconsistent, and they're just losing against decent opponents down the stretch.
Yeah. I'm not that impressed with Indiana. I'm not. They could impress me though this week with a win against Ohio State though. Now you beat Ohio State. Now Ohio State puts themselves in a situation where y'all both in the same boat. Whoever goes further gets in. The other one goes home.
Right.
You can put yourself in a situation like that if you're Indiana. So they have things in front of them. They do. But I'm just not impressed with this team at all. I don't want to see them get in. But if they beat Ohio State and then they make some noise in that tournament, how can you not?
That's right. It's just like Jay just said. He was talking about Ohio State, but it's the same for Indiana. If they get one back, they can bounce back and get on a roll.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it. You've seen it before. And then the last team in this category is New Mexico. New Mexico did beat the Aztecs on Saturday. We said that was kind of a showdown game.
Yeah.
Mexico's 21-7. They're 12-5 in the Mountain West. I'm going to tell you something, Kenny. I know you didn't check closely because this isn't your team. It's my team. Colorado State. This team went to New Mexico and destroyed them last night. And Colorado State was out of it, dude. They were out of it. But they've won 8 straight games in the Mountain West. I am like, I know they're not going to make it on their merits of their season because they're only, I think they're 19-10. But to go and they've already beaten San Diego State. Now they beat New Mexico. I'm like, let's get them up on that list. I'll be excited again.
Right.
But speaking of New Mexico, yes, they won the showdown game against San Diego State. So they're on the right side of the bubble. But they're still going to have to get to the final probably for the Mountain West to make the tournament.
Yeah, yep. That's another team. That's another team who on the cusp, like they're right there. But now you put yourself in a spot to where you're going to have to win multiple games against teams who are just as desperate as you because we're going to talk about San Diego State. They're going to want that get back.
Oh, yeah, they will.
They see them again. It's going to be, okay, well, see what happened last time. Now is where it's really going to matter because now the further you advance, the more you can breathe and relax. So I think New Mexico is a really good team. I like what I've seen from them, thus far. But don't get lackadaisical. That's all I can say.
Yeah, they got crushed. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I looked at the score. I was flying from Denver to Chicago for work, and I landed. Was like, what does that say? We're up by 15 on the road at New Mexico. I'm like,
right?
Because I thought New Mexico was good, and but hey, Colorado State's playing good. So in the forced 4 out, they finally did it, Kenny. They finally listened to us. Auburn, they're on the way out. Now, granted, they did win last night for the first time in forever, but they are 16-14, 7-10 in the SEC. They're only in the forced 4 out. I can't believe it. So finally, somebody's listening. They got a showdown against Alabama this Saturday. If they win that, they probably pop back up because their metrics are so good. But I want this team out, man. This team finally won a game yesterday. Great. Congratulations. You won, you kept losing games to all the good teams. So Auburn, it's one of those teams I don't want to see in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm cool on Auburn. Like I said, their record doesn't represent tournament time, and neither does their conference record. The only way is they're going to have to beat Alabama and then go on the run of a lifetime next week.
They are.
This is going to have to be some Kemba Walker UConn type thing.
Yeah.
I know you remember that. The UConn had to win every game to get in the tournament. I don't think people realize how great of a run that was for Kemba Walker. That's one of the greatest runs you'll see because not only did they have to win all the games in the Big East, they end up winning all the games in the tournament and winning the championship based off of that. And that was just such a crazy month for Kemba Walker and that UConn team. And Auburn putting themselves in a position where they're going to have to do the same thing just to get in.
It was like NC State, what was it, 2 years ago? They had to win the AC tournament, and they went all the way to the finals game. They lost in the finals, in the Final Four, right? Four. But yeah, that was like an incredible run. But backs against the wall, they had a couple of players. Jay's just trying to make me feel good because he put Colorado State in up here. But yeah, he agrees. We don't want Auburn in there. We've just mentioned San Diego State. Yes. Not only did they lose to New Mexico, they lost again this week. So they're not looking so good, Kenny. 19-10, 13-6 to Mount West. They're going to have to make hay in the tournament. Yeah. I'm not sure if they've got some injuries, but they're definitely not playing like they did a couple of weeks ago. Let's talk about VCU, though. It's a team I've been waving the flag. I don't know what the VCU dance is, the Rams dance, or a fellow Rams. So I just want to do a little VCU dance. They're 23-7. They're 14-3 in the Atlantic 10. They really need to beat St. Louis, man. I wish they did it a couple weeks ago, but if they can get to the final against St. Louis and play a great game, or obviously if they beat them, they're in. Then I think they got a shot. I just like the way they play. I don't want to see an Auburn or Indiana. I'd like to see them instead to give them a shot.
Yeah, VCU. They're always, I'm not going to lie, they always seem like they're just hanging around. I like VCU. Like, just as a school, it's like they're always just hanging around that tournament. I remember a couple years ago when they actually went on a run in the tournament. It was crazy. It was so much fun, though. Like, those type of schools, man, I always root for them. So I would like to see them get in for sure. But you got to put the work in, and you got to impress the committee, man. You're going to have to impress the committee. So beating St. Louis, I think, definitely does that for you.
It does. And then last team is Virginia Tech. It's another one of these teams I don't know if I trust, but they're 19-11. They're 8-9 in the ACC. Their metrics aren't good, but they get to play Virginia this weekend on Saturday. If they can beat Virginia, they've had a couple marquee wins. I think they beat North Carolina earlier this year. Maybe they're a team that's dangerous. I don't know. Just show me something. It's like you said. This is one of those teams that we mentioned before. They'll get a good win and then they stink against a lesser opponent. This is time. There's no more time for screwing around. You got to play good every night and advance as far as you can, and then make it on the committee to take you out.
Yes, I agree, man. We are hard jury up here. We are hard jury on primetime college hoops. We're gonna judge you. And Virginia Tech, I'm not buying you. Let's see how you play against Virginia, though.
Right.
I agree with that statement for sure, because you can beat Virginia, who's supposedly the second best team
That's right.
in the ACC. Well, then we gotta listen, and then
Mhm.
if you can make some noise in that tournament, we gotta listen even more. And so Virginia Tech, you got space and opportunity to prove yourself. But as of now, yeah, no, you can go home. You can go home, start next year, get some more NIL money, and get some.
Right. Show me something. Yeah, maybe fire the
Yeah.
coach, whatever you got to do.
Yes.
Okay, so for this week, Kenny, I've only got 4 games that we're highlighting because a lot of them are the tournament games. There's going to be, like I said, the punch in the ticket games, and then there's some early tournament games. The matchups weren't all that great, but there are a few that we'll talk about. Vanderbilt is going to Tennessee. It's a battle for Tennessee, battle for the Smoky Mountains or something.
Right.
Nashville versus Knoxville. I think Tennessee will be a short favorite at home, 2.5, 142.5 point total. This is Saturday at 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Both teams have been pretty good, but who you truly trust? Who you got in this game, Kenny?
Let me rub the crystal ball. Let's see.
Where's the Oracle when we need him?
I know, right? Right. It's a close game. Even the line says it's close and everything. I'm gonna take Tennessee at home.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Tennessee at home. Reason being is this is too close of a matchup to say, oh yeah, this team is better than this one. Oh no, this team's better than this one. But the home court, as we know, the home court means so much these days, especially this year for some reason. So I'm gonna roll with the home team and take Tennessee.
Yeah, I agree with you. Vandy, I've always been surprised. Their metrics are so good. And every time I see them in a big matchup, they're falling on their face. It doesn't mean that they're not a good team. They're probably a team that will win a couple games in the tournament. Tennessee's a good team. The problem with Tennessee that I've seen, they get up on teams and they don't step on the throat. I mean, they had Alabama down by like 10 points, and they let Alabama steal one in their building. They've blown a lot of leads. They've blown more 10-point leads in the conference than anybody else. So to me, I like Tennessee. I'm just a little cautious because, why can't they close these teams out? I think they're better than Vandy, but they'll have to prove it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Then we got the rematch, Casanova. We've got the rematch. We've got North Carolina going to Duke this time. I think Duke will be a pretty big favorite. 8.5, 146.5 point total. That's an estimate. This is at 5:30 p.m. Central, 6:30 Eastern at ESPN. I don't think Wilson's back. I haven't looked at the injury report, but I think they're holding him out. So I definitely give the edge to Duke. But what do you think?
Well, it's at Cameron Indoor.
It is. The crazies. They're probably sitting out there right now waiting to get in.
They're ready now. They're ready now, beer in hand. I'm gonna take Duke, but the reason why I'm pausing is because for some strange reason, UNC, not some strange reason, they're a good team. They've been playing pretty good of recent.
Right.
They're playing pretty good of recent, but at Cameron Indoor, the crazies, that environment, give me Duke. And Duke's the better team as well.
They are. I don't think there's any question they're the better team. It's just, it's one of these things that they pump up this rivalry, like best rivalry in sports. I mean, blah, 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 versus, they always say like Yankees, Red Sox, things like that. I think it's true. They definitely play better in this matchup than they would in others. It's just, we've seen Duke throttle teams. And that's what last time we were watching this game and they kind of had to come back. North Carolina came back. They didn't lead the whole game, and they hit a bucket at the end of the game to win. So my brain tells me to take Duke and like lay them points. But my experience and people, the media is like North Carolina's going to keep it close. So I do think Duke wins the game. I'm not sure if I would lay all those points because, like you said, North Carolina is going to try to try to knock them down a peg, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Well, let's talk Texas Tech at BYU. Originally, when I put this together, BYU was ranked, and then they fell out of the rankings. I don't know if you saw, they lost again. Cincinnati, that's a team that should be on this list, by the way. Cincinnati, you heard it here first. They should be in this tournament. They are a good team. They swept BYU. They're getting hot at the right time. They're above 500 in the Big 12. So there's my little soapbox. But Texas Tech, they're 10th ranked. They're going to BYU. I think Texas Tech will be favored on the road. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. The Fighting Casanovas. The 155.5 point total. 9:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Who you got? I think BYU, because you called this last time. BYU came off the mat. Can they take out Texas Tech this time?
Man. One more life jacket.
One more
life jacket. I'm gonna take one more life jacket game for BYU. I'm gonna do it one more time. This is the life jacket game right here. You don't have no more left. No one believes in you. No one believes in you, BYU. But I'm gonna throw you a life jacket. I need you to put it on, and I need you to go ahead and take care of business against Texas Tech.
Yeah, I know you got distracted because Dalton put this one up for you. The Fighting Casanovas are looking down. You talk about the Cyclones.
Yeah, I know,
you missed that already, Dalton. We already talked about the Cyclones. He's giving up the dance.
I'm done.
He's giving up the Cyclone dance.
Yeah, we giving it up. We giving up that Cyclone dance. It's retired. It's retired until.
But he's going to do the Cougar dance now. He's going to be doing the Cougar dance over the Texas Tech one more time.
I'm sorry, Texas Tech. I'm going to take BYU in this one. This is the life jacket game. I'm going to give him one more life jacket. No more after this.
I can't do it. I like. I definitely like. Devonsa. We know like Devonsa. Mm-hmm. The problem was I might have been going with this with BYU with you if Texas Tech didn't lose to TCU. TCU beat them early this week, and that's going to make them mad. Christian Anderson's going to play a good game. It's going to be fun because it's going to be a high-scoring game because both teams are going to score now. What Texas Tech was doing before that TCU game, they were kind of playing freely, and I think they can do that against BYU where it's a tougher – I think TCU is a physical team. They can't do what they did. So I'm going against you, Casanova. I'm sorry, man. I know – and look at this. This is not the kind of listenership we want here. Dalton and I already got into it via text, so he's calling you a quitter, Casanova. It doesn't mean he's quitting the dance. He's going to dance. He's still a dancer. He just doesn't believe in the Cyclones at this moment. It's just for this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, they let me down. They hurt me, man. They hurt me. They did. They hurt me a lot in that in that last one, man, they played.
Well, I think that the Cyclones are a really good basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing in the Big 12. We talked about this.
Yes.
You go on the road in the Big 12. I mean, it's got to be rough. You show up, all these 7-footers are staring at you. You got one guy who's like 6'10". You know what I mean? Those Cyclones have a lot, but they don't have enough. They play better at home when the crowd's going crazy. All right, let's talk about the last game for the weekend. We'll have to fill some time here, but we've got Michigan State against Michigan. You already proclaimed this 1-2 in the Big Ten in terms of the best team, and you're right in terms of the standings. I think Michigan will be a decent favorite, though, at home. 7.5, 149.5 point total. This is Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Central, 5:30 Eastern on CBS. Who you got in this one? You think the Sparties are going to come in and shock the world?
Oh, man. This is such a great game.
It is.
It's such a great game. Tom Izzo, man, what can I say?
Guy can coach.
He can coach. I don't care who it is, what it is, what kind of team it is. He can coach it. But Michigan, too much height, too much size.
They're massive.
I think they're gonna big boy them, like they just did with Illinois. I think it's gonna be the same game plan. Now, do I think Michigan State put up a better fight? Yes, I do. I do think it'll be a better fight put up in this game. But I see Michigan winning that game. I do. I do. And they're, they like to score the ball, man.
Yeah,
These dudes like to put up 85 to 100 points a game, man. It's
they
going to
do.
be hard to slow all that down. I do. I
Yes.
think it's gonna be hard to slow that down. So I'm going to take Michigan in a tight, close game. But I
Mhm.
do think they'll I think it'll be a tight, close game up until a point. And then I think they'll start stretching the lead out.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I agree with you. I think Michigan's a better team. We've seen this time and time again. Can Izzo and his bunch keep those guys off the glass? When they played them last time, they were at home. It was Friday night. It was super exciting, and they came out and they were flat. They were getting beat really bad at home, and then Fears just took it on his back to like drive the lane and make it happen. They got real close to coming back all the way, and then they kind of lost the grip at the end. One of the things I'll say about Michigan State on their side, they got a kid who has kind of been, I don't know where this guy came from, Kur Tang. That's two words, Kur and Tang. He's a
Yeah.
6'5" sophomore guard. He has been lighting it up, dude. 14 threes or something in the last 4 games. He was 6 of 8 from 3 against Indiana. If he can get hot and keep him in the game, because
Yeah.
Michigan, we know their guards are good, but not as good as their bigs, like relatively, then I feel better. I just can't have Fears be the only guy making offense for this team,
Yeah.
because it puts him in a bind, because he'll get a little tired and then all of a sudden the other team surges. So if they can get some more offense from him and some of the other guys, Kohler's been playing pretty good too.
Mhm.
But I agree with you. I think Michigan's just better. I will say, and I don't know what the bracket is yet. I guess it'll be settled out after this game, but you're probably going to see this game again a week from Sunday, the Big Ten championship game of the tournament, because I do think they're better. As good as Illinois has played and Purdue's had their moments, I think these are the two best teams, like you said.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're right. I think we're definitely going to see this game again. Yeah, there will be another game.
Wait. We got something in the chat. Wait a second. We got somebody taking Sparty. You're taking Sparty on the road. Do you understand you're taking Sparty on the road?
On the road, this ain't at home.
This is in Ann Arbor. This is in Ann Arbor, man. No,
Yeah,
I love that call. I love it. I hope to see it, because we need Michigan to kind of play honest and play hard. But
yeah.
And look, Michigan State is rolling. They're playing as good as they've been playing.
Definitely.
But this Michigan team,
yeah, they just
look at that. He's all in. He's all in. All chips to the center.
Yes,
Jay Howe, I like it.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all, man. Michigan is just different, man, to me. I just feel different, man. This is gonna be the type of game though that Coach Izzo tells me to shut up, hold his beer, and watch this. So they just got to be careful.
Yeah, well, he's taking them. He agrees. Look at the comeback. He's like, they're going to come out. They're going to come out strong this time. They're not going to fall behind early.
I hope so, because that's what messed them up last time.
I will say that Michigan State's defense is now like, I think it's 6th or something in KenPom. It's like super highly ranked. They were just bottling up Indiana. It was kind of sad, and then they just they just take it to Purdue. It's one of these things, like I am a Sparty guy at heart, even though I didn't go to Michigan State. Like deep in my heart, I love Tom Izzo. I've got a Tom Izzo jersey somewhere, but I don't know. Michigan's really good. And I think that the only thing is Michigan does have the Big Ten sewn up, so it doesn't really matter if they win this particular game. So maybe there's something to that from a betting standpoint. But
pride.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Pride kicks in. You'll never want to lose to Michigan State if you miss.
Rivalry.
I think they're gonna try to put the pedal to the metal, man.
Okay, well, look, Jay, he's battling us. I wish he was on the other line here. He's saying they're going to come out. Michigan's going to come out flat, and State's going to come out strong. Michigan won't be able to come back. With the lead, they will play great win. Okay.
Hey, that's the game plan. If you're Michigan State, you better listen.
Yeah. You just got to keep those big dudes off the glass. You can't let them get second and third shots when I watched the last game, I was rooting for Sparty and really wanted them. You know what I mean? But it was like they couldn't keep those dudes off the glass. So many tap backs for threes, and when they started coming back, then they were playing good. But then they got tired, and at the end of the game, it was just Cadeau. He was just like hitting big shots, and they got to the foul line. I was getting mad at Sparty in that game. They wouldn't get to the foul line. I'm like, get to the foul line. That's how you come back. But well, that's good. I appreciate it. That'll be a great game to watch. Probably the best game on the weekend. Yeah. Unless North Carolina's going to surprise us and maybe they're going to play great.
Now that right there could be an interesting one right there.
Yeah. Well, North Carolina is one of those teams. They've got athleticism, and if Caleb Wilson does play, he played in the first matchup, as you know. He hasn't been playing, so the team's a little bit streaky. They're up and down. If he all of a sudden takes off the warm up, he's actually lining. He takes off the warm up. Can you imagine team's going to get fired up? Caleb's back, but I think they're going to hold him out to the ACC tournament just to be safe. Why not?
Yeah, I think you do hold back because you probably got to play him again next week, so it don't even matter.
It's true. You'll probably play them in the semis or something. Dalton's got a little comment about North Carolina. They are bad from the foul line. That is very true. They are bad from the foul line. They don't believe in shooting free throws, apparently, after practice when you're tired. But, look, Duke is really good. We've talked about this 3 times on this podcast. This team is a next-level team. Yeah. It's just North Carolina's the only team that – there's only been 2 teams that have beaten Duke this year, and it was Texas Tech with JT Toppin and North Carolina somehow in Chapel Hill, and they blew that lead. So we think Duke's going to win, but we're trying to get some good games this weekend besides watching the Ohio Valley Championship and the Sun Belt.
Right, because definitely ready for next week, though. I'm ready for championship week, man. I'm ready for the tournaments, man. I am. I think we're going to get a shocking team that's going to make it.
I think so too.
The team that we might not even be looking at right now, they may not be nowhere near on any of the list, and I think they're going to mess around and make a run in the tournament and stamp their ticket.
Well, I want that to be Colorado State, Kenny. I know that I'm a homer, but I'm telling you, they've won 8 straight. They just keep winning. Just keep winning. Rams, get back in the dance, and I'll do a Ram dance for you.
Right. You got to come with the Ram dance. There we go. Right. Get rid of the Cyclones.
I'm very happy to see that Dalton did research for our podcast, and he's got Duke leads the country in point differential 20.6. Well, they're the number 1 team on defense. What's kind of cool in KenPom. Now you haven't. Hopefully you're on board now. Look at KenPom, Kenny. But the KenPom listings, it's like number 1, 2, and 3. That's the 1, 2, 3 teams in defense. You know what I mean? Offense, they're still good, but it's the defenses that are getting it done. So, well, anyway, what are you up to this weekend? Anything fun?
Well, podcasting.
That's right. Tell us about it. Where can we see Casanova? Where can we see this man?
So you're going to see me right here on PCSN. You'll see me on Saturday on NBA Hoops. You'll see me on Renegade Rundown on Tuesdays. And you'll see me back here on Primetime College Hoops, man. I'm all over the network. So if you stay tuned and tune in, you will see me here.
He's like Mr. Worldwide. He's everywhere. Right. You can't stop this man.
Right.
You can't stop this man.
Of course.
And Dalton, he's going to do that dance when he wants to do his dance. You can't make him do that. For me, you can follow me here at Primetime College Hoops every Thursday. We've got the Side Action podcast separately. Dalton, I'll be doing that shortly. And then obviously we've got the Lockdown Coverage podcast on Tuesday with Sean and Tip and Zell. So that's fun. I missed this week, but I'll be back next week. Tons of free agency and stuff like that working next week. There's so much NFL stuff happening. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. But follow the network. We've got it scrolling down at the bottom. And hopefully we've got the Oracle back next week. We need the Oracle for the big dance. We cannot have – we are missing you. We have an empty hole in our heart without the Oracle.
That's right.
On our podcast.
That's right. Can't wait.
All right, everybody. Well, have a great weekend and enjoy those games. We'll see you next week.
All right, y'all.
Yeah. Hey. Drop.
Prime Coverage Sports Network. Real coverage, real conversation.